Students, good morning. Welcome to chemistry class. In this class, we will discuss about the chapter third, that is water. So, what is water and what are the properties of water? We will discuss in this chapter. Introduction. So, next to air, water is one of the most common substance on the earth's surface. And W. Ostwald stated that almost all the chemical processes which occurs in nature takes place among the solution in water. Water is thus the auxiliary of life, means water is very important for human life as well as animal life as well as plant life. So water which is found in the natural state is called natural water, while the water which is received some form of treatment is known as the treated water. Okay, importance of water. So water is the important for natural processes and is vital for the growth of plant, animal life, and the human body needs water for almost every function carried out by each and every cells. So water is very important thing which needs for almost every function that is carried out by the plant or animals. Industrial process depends upon water are the agriculture, transportation, and the power generation of plants, both hydro and thermoelectric, that are also depends on the water. Occurrence of water. So in the free state, solid state water in the form of ice, snow, and frost. In form of solid state, water is found in this state. Liquid state, so on the earth surface, as river water, lake water, sea water, spring water, etc. are free state of water found at the earth. And below the earth surface, in well water, moisture accumulation in the soil. And above the earth surface, crust is in form of dew and gaseous state of water, vapor as water vapor, and cloud, mist, fog, etc. are some gaseous state of water which exist in our environment. Come to the in the combined state. So water occurs in combined form in all living matter, that is plant and animals. Water is present in hydrated salt, example magnesium chloride, hexahydrate, and in certain minerals. So water can also be present with some minerals or salts in form of combined states. So earth surface covers approximately 75% of earth surface of water, and human body nearly 70% of the body weight is made up of waters. And food products, green vegetables contains 80 to 90% of water, milk contains 80 to 85% of water, and dry cereals, that is contains 3 to 5% of water. Now the water cycle. What is the water cycle? So nature maintains the water cycle by the circulation of water from earth's surface by evaporating to the atmosphere and back to the earth's surface in form of rainwater. So you can see the diagram here in which there is a process of water cycle is shown here, in which this is the sea water that will evaporate and collect of water in form of cloud, and these clouds run from here and come to other places and start raining, and they will fall on the earth again, and from this earth they go to the river, and from river they will again reach to this sea water. So in this form the water can circulate from sea level to water vapor, and water vapor to again into water and reach into the ocean. So complete whole process, then the whole process of this circulation of water is basically known as the water cycle. Now come to the water is considered as a compound and not an element, because water is a compound. How it can be an element? Because in water there are oxygen and hydrogen, two elements are present, and as we know that if in any compound there are two or more than two elements are present with same amount, then they are known as compounds. So Henry Cavendish synthesized water from its elements, two volume of hydrogen and one volume of oxygen, by igniting the element in their respective ratio, thereby leading to the conclusion that water is not an element but a compound. and it is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, and combining ratio is 2:1. Anthony Lavoisier further confirmed that water is a compound of two elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen, and that a molecule of water is comprised of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of hydrogen. So it is proved finally that hydrogen is made up of by the combination of hydrogen and oxygen element will gives water molecule. So water is a molecule because in which there are hydrogen and oxygen element will combine and form a single molecule of water. Now come to the properties of compound and water. So compounds have a fixed composition and elements combined in the fixed proportion of by weight. Water, in case of water, in water the element hydrogen and oxygen are combined in the fixed ratio. Properties compounds have new properties. The original compounds loses their individual properties. So in case of properties of water, they are also differ from the properties of their individual elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen. So it is the second point to prove the water is a compound, and the component of compound can be separated by chemical means only and not by the physical means. So the component of hydrogen and oxygen can be separated by a chemical means, that is by electrolysis, but do not a physical means. So these are 3 points by which you can say that water is a compound, not a element. Okay. Now come to the natural and treated water. So natural water found in the natural state is known as the natural water. For example, rainwater, spring water, well water, river water, lake water, sea water, etc. And treated water is water which has received some form of treatment. For example, distilled water. So it is the most purest form of water used for the qualitative analysis, and it is soft water and free from the solutes. Okay. So pipe bone water, so it is prepared by filtration followed by the chemical treatment of water, and it is free from the bacteria, but many contains essential mineral solutes. So it is the pipe bone water. And chlorinated water, the water in which the chlorine is present to disinfect the microorganisms. So water in the swimming pools is chlorinated to kill the germs. So we will add the chlorine compound to kill the germs present in the water. That process is known as the chlorination. Solutions: a mixture of two solids in water. A mixture of solids in water is called solution. So water a universal solvent. Water is called as a universal solvent because water has the ability to dissolve a large amount of substances, example salt, sugar, etc. So due to it has the ability to dissolve most of the substances in it, so it is called a universal solvent. It also dissolves a large number of gases, example hydrogen chloride, ammonia, etc. Hence water dissolves almost every common substance, and it and is therefore called universal solvents. The term solvent, solute and solution. Solvent, when we are making a solution, then we will add a particular substance into a water. Then the substance which are adding into the water is known as the solute, and the medium in which the solute is dissolved is called solvent, and the whole process and whole component is known as the solution. Okay. So solvent water, solute sugar, and solvent water, and when stir and mix, then it will give solution. Okay. So liquids generally water are medium of dissociation which allows the solute to dissolve in it so as to form solution is called solvent. Solute substance which dissolves or disappears the solvent to form a solution is called solute. And solution, a homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent, is called solution. Dilute and concentrated solution. So amount of solute is given, weight of solvent determines the concentration of the solution. Dilute solution, a solution in which the amount of solute is relatively small as compared to the solvent, then it is called as dilute solutions. And in case of concentration solutions, a solution in which the amount of solute is extensively or relatively large, then it is called as the concentrated solutions. Okay, true solutions. A true solution has its own characteristics, properties, nature. It is clear, transparent and homogeneous in nature. So it is very homogeneous solution will be very clear and will be transparent, means you can watch from one side to another side in true solutions. Particle size is molecular and the particles can pass through the proper filter paper and cannot seen under a microscope and do not settle down, so their particle size is very small. And separations, so solutes can be covered from the solvents by the physical and not by a chemical means. So a true solution is therefore a mixture and not a compound. Okay, solution is saturated solution and unsaturated solution. So a solution which can dissolve more and more solute at a given temperature is called as a unsaturated solution at that temperature. Okay, and when a solution cannot dissolve more solute at a given temperature is called saturated solution, means solution in which we can add more and more solute and dissolve it, then it is called unsaturated. And insaturated, when we cannot dissolve large amount of the solute into the solvent, then it is called as saturated solutions. Okay, such a saturated solution can be covered converted to the unsaturated solution by heating the saturated solution slowly. A saturated solution can be dissolved more of solute at higher temperature. Okay, and by adding more solvent to the saturated solution, increased amount of solvent can dissolve and more of the solute at temperature. So supersaturated solutions differ from the saturated solution. Supersaturated solution क्या होते हैं? It is one which can hold contains and more of the solute at a given temperature and then that present in the saturated solution. Okay, so these are the types of saturated and unsaturated solution and types of solutions. Okay, thank you, have a nice